Hi everyone and welcome. My name is Aya and I'm truly delighted to be a moderator for our debut session of the Guest of Honor Tech Talk series, brought to you by the Kazakh International Science and Technology Association. Whether you are joining us from Astana, Berlin, New York, or Tokyo, thank you for making time across time zones to be part of this exciting launch. Before we begin, I'd like to welcome someone who has played a key role in supporting science and innovation in Kazakhstan. Please join me, Ghalamjan Isabekov, the founder of the Kazakh International Science and Technology Association.
Yeah, thank you very much, Aya, for introduction. Everyone, warm welcome joining from different parts of the world. Today we have exciting topic. First one, guest of honor tech talk series. So Aya will introduce our association, and after that we will start our talk with Nurbek. Yeah, thank you very much.
Would you change the slides, please? Ghalamjan, do you have slides or do you want me to just go over? Oh, okay, nice. Thank you. All right, so we are the Kazakh International Science and Technology Association, having almost 100 members across academia and industry from different majors doing cutting-edge research at the world-leading institutions. We were founded by Ghalamjan in 2014, and our members span across all over the world. Next slide. The president of our association is Serg Mirmanov. He's a professor and rector lead at Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University. I am Aya, the secretary of this association. And on this call, we also have Muhit, who is the ambassador representing Hong Kong, as well as Ambassador Oljan from Northern Europe and other ambassadors. And if you want to join us as ambassador, we are recruiting. Please reach out to us on LinkedIn, Instagram, or other social media. Our goal is to maintain and strengthen the cultural and intellectual space of Kazakhstan and bridge the professionals from our motherland with the world. We serve as a hub for scientific collaboration and public outreach that enhances the qualifications and global visibility for Kazakhstani scientists. We organize different kinds of events. For example, some panel discussions, guest of honor seminar series. This is our first Tech Talk series, as well as fellowship grant support events. This is our examples, past sessions for the guest of honor seminar series and panel discussions. Totaling over 35 online events. Another project of our association is 100 Kazakhstan Ghalam project, which was founded by Dr. Quvanish Ergaliyev, who interviews 100 prominent Kazakh research worldwide. And other examples of the events we organized was with Mr. Sarzad Nurbek, with Dr. Murad Saparbayev, Anara Nursaitova, and others. And we do recordings of our events, so I encourage everyone to check our YouTube channel and go over our past sessions. And as I said, we organize panel discussions. Some of them address critical questions important to your country, like floods in Kazakhstan, a major problem we faced last year. Um, and we also try to help students from Kazakhstan to gain more experience with opportunities such as Takeda Science Foundation Fellowship, as well as Japanese government MEC scholarship program. So we organized a info session with Takeda Science Fellowship Foundation, and we also assisted in selection of a candidate for the doctoral program in public health and molecular medicine. And we love to collaborate with our fellow colleagues, such as Kazakh Association of PhDs in North America, Young Researchers Alliance, Narhos University, and Galang Project. One of the events that we co-organized was with Kazakh Association of PhDs in North America, where we discussed the advancing careers in science and research. Um, And all other information about our association you can find on our website. And I encourage everyone to join us to get invitations for any future events or any future opportunities. And with this, I would like to close this information and move to this Tech Talk series event. If you are a PhD student, a postdoc, someone in your early career, maybe you have wondered about how to turn your research ideas into startup or how to find funding, whether you need a business background to succeed. This is your right space. This series is made for academics who are thinking about the leap into the tech entrepreneurship. I am happy to invite the founder of Sezual, Nurbek Yensebayev. Nurbek is a scientist, inventor, and writer. He founded Sezual, a nonprofit that creates cutting-edge technologies to improve the lives of people with disabilities. He is a Bolshak alumnus and graduate of Oklahoma State University, and his startup has earned support from major institutions including the World Bank, Chevron, Royal, and the Science Fund of Kazakhstan. Today, Nurbek will share how he turned his idea into the real world impact and how you can do the same. Feel free to type your questions in the chat anytime, and we will address them during the Q&A session at the end. Nurbek, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much for invitation. It's a pleasure to meet all of you. Well, I started to work on technologies for the disabled after studying at the university, and over there I saw a lot of students who were having problems accessing the classes. So, for example, when we were playing basketball, we on weekdays saw the players who were competing on the wheelchairs. And for me, it was very interesting that these people, without possibility to go by themselves, still tried to dunk. Like dunking is when you try to jump on the ring, and this is really amazing to see that competition in reality. So because I studied in Karaganda and I used to play basketball since the 3rd grade of school, I decided to become a referee on that competitions, and it was very exciting for me. And the question that I had is that why there is no any technology that will allow people to dunk, especially those who are on the wheelchairs. Why there is no technology that will allow them just to run, to feel themselves free. And then when I came to Kazakhstan, I worked in different areas. And then one of my friends, I got acquainted with a scientist who had experienced problem with vision. Galamjan Gabdreshov, he's my friend, and when we got acquainted with him, it was like over 7 years ago. He had a problem. He went to sauna, and then because of too much heat, his retina detached, and he woke up in the morning without retina. That's why he couldn't see. And for 3 days, it was like really a challenge. In that 3 days, we successfully found a doctor who attached with a special laser retina, but it changed the mind of my friend, of Galamjan, and it changed the mind of us, because we decided not just to look at this thing, but to try to create something for disabled people. And we decided to create the devices that will allow people to learn, to navigate, to continue working. And one of the devices that we created was the device that allowed blind people to learn to read. Because in high schools, when we were in New York and in Washington, we realized that only if a person is until 14 years old, he will be able to go to the high school. But if a person lost his vision, for example, because of the disease or because of too much heat in sauna, after, for example, 18 years old, he won't be able to go to school. And that's why we decided to create some useful devices. And here is one of the devices that we created at the beginning. So it allows a blind person here on each button there is a braille script, and when you push the button you hear the letter, and then you hear the location of the letter. So the blind person, for example, a blind child, he just takes this device and he can randomly push any button. For example, U, and then go to and this when he pushes the button second time, the blind child or adult person, he will hear the location of each letter according to Braille script, and he will identify this letter. And then when after he or she learned the letters, science and mathematical science, he will go to the library and take a book, like books for the blind. They're usually, for example, the Kazakh book Путь Abaya, Abay Jolu. It's like one book, but for the blind it will be like 3 books, because this thing, it will take much more paper to publish. And we, with the help of Tengi Chevron and the Science Fund, we already provided this. We gave as gift these devices to libraries, schools for the blind, and other professional organizations in 6 areas of Kazakhstan, also in New York. And now we are sending devices for Washington and Texas School for the Blind and Visually Impaired, PCBVI. So this is the first device that we decided to make and the device that is, in our opinion, very useful. And actually, the teachers for visually impaired from Ajarao, from Astana, they told us that they were really surprised because with this device, it takes 1 month for a blind child to learn to read. But without this device, with all technologies that they have in schools right now in Kazakhstan, it took 4 years for a teacher to. And the reason is that in the class for the blind children, there can be only 5 children because it's very hard to teach a blind child. So they take the display of Braille, the ordinary display made of tree, and then they go step by step, and it takes like 4 years. But with this device, we have the port for earphones. We have all the ports that allow, like, and it's very small. Like it looks like big, but in fact, I can put it in my coat. So it's easy just to walk around the city, put earphones, and just push the button. And for a blind child, it's more like a play, especially if a child was born blind, because he doesn't know how the world looks like, and he doesn't know that this thing is designed to teach. He thinks that it's just a game. And when we gave these devices to Ataral School and Astana, these schools made concerts for us. And then on one of these concerts, there was a blind girl and a deaf girl. And then we asked, how long did it take to teach these girls music? And the teachers for visually impaired told us it took 2 years. That's why we decided to create a second device. It looks alike. It looks like this. But instead of Braille languages, it has the music tones, and it teaches you solfeggio, music literature. So when you push the button first time, you hear C, A. Do you hear the sounds or not really?
Yeah, we do hear.
Okay. So and when you push the second time, C, 8th, 1st, 4th, 5th. It repeats C8th, but then it goes and shows you the location of each Braille button. So for children who want to learn music and then go on the stage like Andrea Bocelli, the Italian opera singer, or like Stevie Wonder, the American singer, and you know many singers and musicians who were blind and still they were able to give happiness to people, to sing, to play musical instruments. Okay, and these devices that we provided with support of sponsors to schools and libraries, they really helped children to, first of all, to learn fast, then to share knowledge with others. To, for example, we connected to the Guinness Record Book, and they wanted to come and to see themselves the Atara region, because we're given as in Atara, they people, children, and even older people, retired people, they know Braille so good that our region can become one of Guinness records man. Yeah. Okay. And then, of course, because a child or adult people want to navigate, we created a device for navigation. For example, in Kazakhstan, in Almaty, we have these devices. This device is, we call it just a beacon. It allows to navigate around in bank center credit in Almaty. They put in all branches these devices, and now blind people are able to walk all around and just to take credits, take loans from the bank, just to feel themselves as usual person. So, and then we wrote actually the book. Here is the book in Russian language. It our friend Yerkun Aybasov, he actually moved to New York, and this book it explains how the brain changes when a person uses our devices, because the blind person brain is more plastic, has more plasticity, and when there were a lot of researches, they showed that when one more device that we invented was the biolocator device. I don't have it with me because we gave it to one of our testers to do some testing, but you put it on a neck, and the size is the same as this one. So you put it here, but it has a round. It is round, and it emits the click from here. It emits impulses every second. By reflecting from the objects, the blind person sees all the objects up to 15 meters. And that's why in this book we explained what chemical reactions are made in the brain of a blind person to see the surroundings. And in Kazakhstan, and also when we went to the Department of Labor in Washington, we showed these devices, and they were really surprised and amazed, because in US they use just the white cane. They use guide dogs, they use white cane, and they use helpers, just ordinary people who help blind people. But when we showed them how for example, we have a tester, her name is Jazira. She was born, she is here on our emblema, on our logotype. We chose her because she is the most bold person, as we believe. She lost vision when she was a child. She was born with gray and blue eyes, and her parents thought that this is something wrong, and they decided to make a surgery. And that surgery wasn't successful, and because of that surgery, she lost her vision, and she was the first tester who decided to try our biolocator, and then she was the first one who just walked around the building, then went outside the building, and didn't fall down in any place. And then the final test that we decided to make with her was very, very hard, because she never actually ride a bicycle in her life. But we told her that in order to prove that the biolocator is really working, you should learn. And in 3 days, she learned to ride a bicycle with the biolocator. And so the representatives of the US government, of Department of Labor, they were really excited. And they told us, well, such technologies they need also in US, and they would be happy if we relocate part of the team to integrate this. That's why, several our engineers, inventors, they already relocated to Texas, Washington, and New York, and we already work with the libraries, banks, and schools for the blind. So, and the reason to create all of this was my friend Galamjan and the students whom I saw during the school, during the university. So, as you know, when a person loses vision, he doesn't move too much, and that's why he has his legs a little bit atrophy. He has weak legs, and that's why for blind people with problems with locomotion, with locomotor disability, we created the exoskeleton. And our exoskeleton is different than American. First of all, because American exoskeletons, they have the electrical part. Our is totally mechanical. And electrical part, the problem over there is that they just they take the person who is, for example, paralyzed, and they, for example, lower body is paralyzed and upper body is okay. But this exoskeleton made in US, they just take the person and they don't make him do something. They just, as a child, this is actually a robot. And this exoskeleton just moves this person. And in our opinion, this is not very correct. We created a mechanical exoskeleton because we wanted a person to make himself to move. When you go to the gym, for example, develop your back. You train your back. You train your upper body, your hands, and our exoskeleton. It first of all makes you catch the balance. Otherwise, you will fall forward or backward. So when you catch the balance, then you make the little steps. So our exoskeleton makes you avoid the things that appear when a person lies too much. He has some problems with his skin and body. So it allows him to avoid. And then after the person is able to make several steps, if he still has problems with his spinal cord, we created the locomotion device. It's like a tail of the shark. As you know, the shark, it goes like this, right? It goes from side to side. And this movement is called sagittal. And we move more in frontal. And when a fish is going in sagittal direction, the fish gives blood to all elements of the spinal cord. And that's why fish never dies because she's very old. No, the fish dies only if it becomes too big to feed herself. And that's why when you go when you buy a fish, you never hear from somebody that is it old or not. You only hear is it fresh or not fresh, because fish is always young, forever. And that's the point why we created our locomotion device. You put it on your legs. If you have a problem with the lower spinal cord. If you have problems with the neck, then you put this device here on the head, and then in the water you have to go from side to side and move like a fish. It takes some time to train, but my friend Galimjan, he is over 50 years old already, and he lost a lot of kilograms. First of all, he became much younger because he trains more than a year with this device, and it really gives. And also, he had big problems with osteochondrosis, scoliosis, this spondyloarthrosis, and now all of this is gone. So for people who want to have a young body, it really helps a lot. What else? Well, we created the technology for using the electronics. We call galanite because we believe that it should all people in our on our planet should learn it. And the point is that a usual person is not able to turn on the microwave by himself if a person is blind. And for blind people with this problem, we created this technology. It allows to operate with this technique by themselves. So and the idea is that we have 6 points of braille and we have 7 notes, and we just put we just put them together so that people could use it.
Thank you, Nurbek, for sharing so many different technologies that you've created. I would like to make this. I would like to ask like one question regarding this technology. So it started from your intrinsic maybe motivation to help people with disabilities, and then real example of your friend losing eyesight. Um, can you elaborate more? How do you actually um, move from the idea, like for example, creating these devices, to actually developing this small keyboards? For example, what is the foundation for the interface? And like for example, you told us pressing one time the key will give some one information, then pressing 2 times will give another information about something. Um, because I think it's important to understand what was the key for such success. Kids learned to play music, for example, faster, right, than the current way of learning in schools. What is the foundation for these devices?
Okay. Well, the foundation, I would say, is the nature, because to create the biolocator, we started to notice that a lot of night insects who are hunting, and also a lot of night mammals, like bats, for example, they are using not the usual type of vision. For example, our vision is light vision, and we see good in the light. But bats, they use the active sound bilocation. Their vision is much better than ours, in our opinion, because the sound, it has the diffraction and diffusion. It means that the sound goes not only forward, it goes backward. So the blind testers that tested the device, tested our Sezual device, they could run forward with biolocator. Excuse me. Okay.
Is it only me? I cannot hear the sound.
Yeah, I think it stopped.
Okay.
Okay. Do you hear me?
We hear you now.
Okay. Okay. Well, we have a tester from Karaganda. He lost his vision in the childhood, but he was able to run with the biolocator forward and backward. And also we had several testers. As you know, diffraction allows you to see around the objects. Diffusion allows you to see through the objects. So we had a tester who could see through the objects, who could count, for example, how many chairs are beside the wall. So this technology, it's just at the beginning of its way, because we know only some part of its qualities. We know that people with this technology can ride a bicycle, can play basketball, but for example, when we visually impaired, we met with Miles Fain, the director. He told us, well, in US, your technology can be used by the firefighters easily, because when there is a fire, for example, at night, there is so low vision that usual firefighters cannot find people under, if a building not only in fire but is also destroying. So under the stones, it is hard to find a person. But with the biolocator, it's possible to find under the stones the person who is trapped under these stones. And also, it's easy to find him because of this diffusion diffraction thing. And then when we looked at the sharks, we understood that, well, they are always young just because they move differently than we are. And we started to test different types of, and we created such good technology that we call locomotion. And several our teammates, they already lost a lot of kilogram, and they look much younger than they are, in fact.
What
And
do you what do you use to draw these ideas from? Like, for example, you said you look at the sharks, for example. Does the idea comes to you from just reading more books, or you have like a team of different scientists, like, for example, engineering and then biologists, marine biologists maybe, who help you to find these innovative solutions to problems?
yes, we have a team. For example, Yerkin Aybasov, he is our chemical scientist. He right now he lives in New York, and we write several books with him. One book is already on Amazon, and you can just read about all chemical reactions that are made in the brain of a blind person after using our devices. Now we create several more books, and we have Galumjan, who is the IT and physics engineer. In the past, he was the army engineer. He created very good weapons. Right now, he creates devices for the disabled people. And our team, we have Timur Yensebayev. He is our engineer. In fact, we have a lot of engineers, designers. constructors who share their ideas, and we test all of the ideas. And if one of the ideas give really strong result, then we continue developing it up to the prototype, write article, start produce in Guangzhou. All the spare parts we produce in Guangzhou, and we assemble them in Kazakhstan, and then we just send them to different countries to test and to get the feedback. And then after the feedback, for example, after we got the feedback from US, from New York library, we send them the first batch, about like 20-50 devices. And right now we want to see the progress, because on the first floor of the library in New York, they put on the showroom our devices. On the second floor, they have all the Braille books. So any person who is blind just comes to the library and learns to read or to play music on the first floor. And then by the elevator, he goes to the second floor and start reading just Shakespeare or any other book on the Braille. And our goal is to collect all the results. And currently we write scientific articles. We already published 2 articles about 2 technologies, but we continue to publish because a lot of things that we create, they are new for our society, not only Kazakhstan, but also US and other countries. And for many scientists, it's hard not just to believe, it's hard to understand why does this work. So our goal is to not only to show, because we already showed that it does work, but to explain why does it work.
Related to this, I have a question. So with this strong team and strong pipeline that you developed from idea to prototypes, you already have successful cases where children from Kazakhstan, for example, learn Braille faster, right? What is the what kind of setbacks you have to produce these devices and put it into more, like, to distribute it to more schools with the successful cases? What are the problems you face?
Well, some schools just don't have enough teachers. For example, in Kazakhstan, to create this device, the musical device, we went to all schools, but only in Almaty, in the school of named after Ostrovsky. They had only one teacher. Her name is Margarita Adilova. She had the education of the musician plus the teacher of Braille. So it was really hard for us, first of all, to find. And then when we found, we, with her help, created this device. And then we sent it to US, and the director of Texas School for Blind and Visually Impaired, Miles Fain, he told us, well, we have a lot of Spanish-speaking children. So adapt your device for Spanish language. So, and there are different things that we just don't know. Like, for example, when we talked to the Chinese Science Academy, they told us, well, we have so many regions in China, and in each region, Chinese language is different. And we don't have Braille, unified Braille for all the regions. That's why it's hard for us to teach blind people in China. And during half a year, we tested different ways, and then we created the unified Braille teaching device. And And then when we showed our technologies in Arabic countries, they told us a lot of people, a lot of Muslims among blind, wanted to learn Quran by themselves. And it's also not very easy to adapt these hieroglyphs. But when we showed them our prototype, they really liked it. Now we are working on with Qatar, with Saudi Arabia, and with United Arab Emirates. And these countries will receive first the devices, and then, as we understand from their representatives, they will just distribute among all Muslim world.
Of this, the difficulty to find to meet the unique needs with the development of AI. Do you see how you can incorporate maybe automatic translation or um, automatic speech generation to meet these needs? For example, languages and dialects, different needs.
Well, yes, AI is very useful to just increase the speed of our work, because we no longer need to have a big team. We just even the design we can make through ChatGPT, for example, right? Very fast and easy. The only thing that the artificial intelligence is not capable of still right now is inventing something new. But hopefully it will somewhere in the future, because even though our team is quite strong, we have chemical engineers, we have army engineers, we have all types of inventors. But still, if there was one more technology that just gives like 1,000 ideas that we can test, that will give us more area for maneuver.
Thank you. We have a question from Hit. You can just unmute yourself.
Okay. First of all, Nurbek, thank you for this insightful talk. It really inspired, especially when you connect the problem from your own life among your friends and then try to develop something. When you correctly use your talent and knowledge and skills into solving the real life problem. So here, I have like few questions. One of them, I guess, I mean, since the customers and the end users are people of a minority group, especially people with disabilities, it will be, I guess, hard to reach out, especially when you want to scale up your business and then try to sell. Is there any way, for example, apart from like a government funding, if there exists, or any way maybe to support your research? So, and that's the first question. And second question. So how were you approached by United Nations or World Bank, or is there any way for networking that you can reach their attention? That's also interesting point, because it is something really inspiring that you got the appreciation from this organization.
Okay, well, also it's a pleasure to meet you too. And yes, we were approached by the United Nations. We participated in their contests, and we became actually, we got to the shortlist, and then we became the laureates. The winners. We went to Chile, and they just were excited that we showed not just one or two or three technologies. We for Chile, we created the project. We called it Inclusive City, and in that city, we showed all inventions that we have, about 10 inventions that allow blind people, deaf people, people with locomotor disabilities, people with cerebral palsy, with autism, like all kinds of disabilities. They were able to use our technologies and live a fulfilling life. And do sports, go into sports, go into work, even create family. Like we showed that, for example, our tester Jazeera, which is on our emblem, she with our device, so United Nations really liked the fact that because of our technologies, people are able to realize their potential. So and we are really grateful to this organization and to all other organizations that helped us, because they are representatives, they are in contact with us, and when we go to any country, they help us to connect to diplomats, to consuls, to attaché, to deputies of different countries, and these representatives of the parliament, of the government, they help us to approach to the libraries, schools, banks, and it's much faster and easier when it goes from the top. Like if we were going just as usual inventors, it would take some time. But because we are winners of the United Nations World Summit Awards contest, they are helping us. They share the contacts and recommend us for everyone. And that's why we have a green light everywhere. And the first question was about the problems, right? You asked.
Yeah. So
problems
yeah.
we
Well,
have?
I mean, yeah. So the customers, is there any problem for them to purchase it, and is there a way to like help them get it for free, or maybe subsidize, or maybe like something that maybe governments or non-government organization might help?
Yes. Okay. Well, this is a very nice question. Actually, we were founded because my friend lost his vision for several days, Galamjan, and because of that, we decided not to be a profit. We are still a non-profit organization, and we use every chance to win any grant. And thanks to the Science Foundation of Kazakhstan, Chevron, thank you Chevron, and others who are really helping us in providing finances to purchase the spare parts, and then we program them, assemble, and just give to those who are in need. And right now we are creating the charity foundation, because we understand that in a long run, we're not able to win grants every year, but to be persistent with what we do, to continue invention and given for free to everyone, we decided to attach Kaspi QR, Halyk QR, and all the banks that we have. Also, we negotiated with Bank of America, with the Citibank, with many American banks that Americans will also send like $10, $5. Whoever wants to give some money for any of our inventions, they will be able to choose the invention. They will be able to choose the person to whom they want this to be assembled and given as a gift and produced. So our website is under reconstruction right now, because previously we worked only on the grants funding, and now during this year until the 2026, we will finish reconstruction, and from any point of the planet, any person will be able to donate any amount of money, even if you want Bitcoin or any type of coins, and just And actually, we started to be more open because we understand that we should share knowledge with young engineers, students. That's why, like this year, I try to travel more across our country. Right now, I'm in Aktau, and I try to give speeches in, for example, Yesenov University. Here is in Aktau, Nazarbayev School, also in Aktau, and other schools and places where there might be talented boys and girls. And I'm trying to share knowledge to motivate. And when I see that some of them are really excited and have strong talent, then we are able to take them into our team. So also we are willing to broaden the area of testers, because previously we had like several testers who tested all technologies, but now we want to attract people with disabilities from any point of any part of the planet. And when we already have people who want to test it from Australia, from New Zealand, from South America. So in the near future, we are going to share, first of all, technologies, and then to come to that places, and then negotiate with the government to open a special school where our technologies, in the same way as in the New York library, they already have, like they have the Braille tutoring device for the languages, and they have the musical tutoring device for music. So the same way, we want these devices to be available in all banks, because when a blind person goes to the bank, it's very hard for him to read any paper, like to access any place. One of the inventions that we created was to put the signature, because a blind person is not able to put signature. And our device looks like a bankomat, like a blind person takes the card, shows his signature on the card remembers it, and then when he moves, for example, to Dubai or New York, then the same device will open up his signature, and he will just repeat it. I hope that I explained it.
Thank you so much. This very impressive projects that you've done, and thank you, Mohit, for asking this interesting questions. We have a couple of minutes left for this event, and I would like to ask Oljan to ask a question, and maybe we also have one more question from Oljan, and we're gonna wrap up this event. Oljan?
Thank you for organizing the event. Thank you, Nurbek, for your speech, sharing your work and experience. I would like to ask about product design. Does your team design the device from the very beginning, from the idea and circuit design until manufacturing and testing? Or is it like outsourced, or is it like fully in-house?
Yes, it's fully in-house, because we have just laboratories in the house of my friend Galamjan, one of the laboratories, and we have one more laboratory where we just assemble and program and do all this stuff with this hardware part, and all these spare parts, we just order them from different plants in China. So it's half Chinese production, half Kazakhstan. But in fact, the assembling and the idea comes from Kazakhstan.
Yeah. And another question is on the Sezual echolocation device. Is it based on the normal sound frequency range so that a user hears different sounds depending on the object shape and distance, or it's something else? And how a visual image is generated in the user brain using this device? Thank you.
Well, the image is generated. Actually, I would attract one of our engineers to go more in depth, because we don't really disclose some of the information about this device. But let's make a phone separately, because we can explain a lot on this device, but not here. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for your question, Uljan. I hope you can maybe continue discussion later on. If Nurbek don't mind, we may share maybe Gmail or other means of communication. And let's finish this event with one more question from Halmjan.
Nurbek, appreciate your time. Really amazing work. Like all this, your story, how it's established, and nowadays what you're doing. So 3 quick questions. First one, like during your work, what kind of challenges you meet? Like it maybe like team management or salary distribution since your company, NGO, or maybe other challenges that you have been through all this way. This is the first question. Second one, so our audience, mainly PhD, postdocs, or young scientists, maybe in the future they're considering to transfer to field that you are doing, like the invention, or join someone's team. Any recommendation for that? And last one, maybe shortly about your future perspective and future perspective of your company, Sezual. Thank you.
Okay, well, the first question about the problems is that, yes, so it was not easy for us to attract the first funding. And the first funding we attracted like on the second year only, after we had a lot of tests and proved the effectiveness. And it was the Tengish Royal. And then after we proved that children are going faster, like instead of 4 years, they go like in 1 month. Then we got the funding from Chevron and from Science Foundation of Kazakhstan. And the second problem that we faced is that to motivate blind people to test our device, it's not quite easy, because they just don't believe. Like if a person was an ordinary person working ordinary work, having family, and because of car crash accidentally just lost his vision, then he doesn't feel like he doesn't want to live even. And it's not easy for us. I even took some courses on psychology, because I had to talk to people who just it's hard to prove them that it will really help, and that they will live as usual as previously. So these are the, I guess, 2 main problems. And then the second question on PhD, well, yes, of course, we will be happy to attract those who have knowledge in different areas, who have PhD in the areas where we are, in the areas where we don't have much experience. For example, we don't have doctors like those who make surgeries, and that's why we have to learn anatomy by ourselves. Like we even go to some medical places and see the skeletons of people to understand how the organism really works, to see and to train a little bit. So that's why we are willing to expand our team to have more diversified specialists, and if that people will have PhD or higher level, that will be great. And then Could you please repeat the third question?
Yeah, well, second question very quickly. Yeah, thank you for that. Just a quick note. So let's say if someone graduated from PhD or postdoc field and don't want to do academia but want to uh, build a new company as you did and want to tackle one problem and try to solve it, and like what is your recommendation in order to this kind of people that just starting came from academia and want to do something that influence as you did? So I think
Okay.
now it's my question is clear. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I would say go forward, because it's always better to have real experience in real life than to continue doing academia and do, already produce the prototype, already have the feedback, and understand their ideas work or not. That's why, in my opinion, because life, in fact, is short. It's much more productive, in my opinion, will be if a person, if he does already have idea, just go for it, and in parallel, this person will be able to approach another degree. For example, I work right now, but in parallel, I study psychology and pedagogy studies, because I have to learn this, because the disabled people, they are quite different than we are, and I have to treat them correctly. That's why, yes, time is very important.
Thank you. I would like to close this meeting, and if you have any further questions, maybe you can reach out to Nurbek personally. Thank you so much, Nurbek, for sharing your story and insights with us today. The journey from the just idea and motivation to the real world prototypes is truly inspiring, and it's a reminder for all of us that we can do an impactful change just with simple idea and the courage to pursue it. Thank you everyone who joined us from around the world. We hope this session sparked new ideas and gave you a clear sense of what's possible beyond academia. Special thank you to Kazakh International Science and Technology Association for establishing this new series, Tech Talk series. And this is just the beginning. We'll be back with more sessions. So I hope you gonna join us in the future. Until then, stay